Okay, good. Om. Namaste. Welcome everyone to Satsang today. Very good. Many fresh faces, new faces also. Welcome. And I take it most of you, well, of course, most I know, but those who are new have some sense of what we explore in these meetings here. And also welcome, of course, to all the many friends who are joining us via internet broadcasting all over the world. This is so beautiful Sangha today. You see. So very much welcome for everybody, and let's go.
Pranam.
I get a chance.
No, that's okay. That's good. It's good. Good. Thank you. Yes.
Yes, I came to check in, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. I've been following you for some years. I'm a bit nervous, but that's
It's okay.
It's also watched. Sorry. Yeah. I'm really fortunate, to be here, I think. Yeah. And I don't know, now I feel like my heart is racing a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a natural thing.
Okay. Yeah, I follow your pointings.
Okay. What have you, in following the pointings, what have you come to in terms of your own conclusive experience?
Like everything you talk about, like what we should, or I don't know, I say it in my own words, maybe I say it wrong. Sorry, I mess up this thing. Okay. Yeah, I'm a bit nervous.
It
My
is
hand
okay.
is shaking a bit. Okay, so to be the watcher is like, yeah. And then you speak of like bliss or whatever, right? So I experienced that, and then you say, like, but that is also watched.
Yes.
And
So what you're saying is that you have come to see that to be more present in the place of the observer, that you observe, you watch everything. Why we can say this? Because without your perceiving of it, it doesn't occur to you. If you're not there, if you're not in the picture at all, or even outside the picture, to say this is good or bad, or that it appears or does not appear, you have to be there to say this is clear for you, isn't it?
yes,
And then you say that, did you experience some sense of joy and spaciousness from this place? And,
yes,
okay.
like the bliss, like God, heaven.
Yes.
I don't know. There's no word for it, but
Yes.
I experienced it. Like maybe I should tell this. Like when I was 21, I experienced like complete bliss. Like there was nothing but bliss.
Yes.
And it never happened like that before.
Yes.
But it's okay. Like I'm a bit afraid of that also. Like the mind, of course, is afraid of that. But that's like
It's afraid of the bliss.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Because?
The space, like because the mind won't be there, or
Yes.
yeah.
And you want the mind to be there.
I don't know. Like I guess like the mind is.
It depends on what capacity the mind is there. The mind can be there because even for a sage, even an awakened being, they are using mind also for practical functions and for so many things. But the mind as a psychological force, as identity. This has been transcended. You see.
Okay. So, yeah, I'm just thinking, like, should I just keep on following your pointings? Like, just because it's really simple, you say the same thing basically.
It's the same thing, basically.
Yeah, you say the same thing over and over, basically, right?
Yes,
so,
yes.
yeah. So,
Why I say it over and over? Why I say the same thing over and over? Because nobody listens to it. I have to say over and over.
I know for a fact, yeah.
Yeah. And then when the people listen, somehow they come to. They don't have to ask now. How long should I keep following? Until there's nothing more to follow.
Okay.
Isn't it? How long I must keep following until there's nothing more to follow? The following must take somewhere. If you're following something, it goes somewhere. And in the search for the self, you're following the pointings. Where does the pointings go to? How much distance you must cover to be home?
It's the easiest thing. Like, it's the easiest thing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
So how long you have to keep following for then?
So, no, yeah, until you don't have to get back to that, or yeah, I understand. There's one more thing, like you have a Sangha here. Sorry, you have a Sangha, and it's also good to be in a space with people who are doing the same thing.
Yes, this is sure.
So, yeah, I actually applied to for the Karma Yoga program, and yeah, maybe I'll do that. I wasn't ready at the time, but maybe soon. Like, I'm here for 4 days in Portugal, just to meet you, basically. Yeah.
Where have you come from?
Holland.
From Holland.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I know a lot of people come from Holland. Like, and you said you will come, but I was like, never mind. I'll just go because.
Don't wait for me to come.
No. Yeah, of course, like, because I had the time, the money, so I thought I should just go because.
Yeah, it is good. Good. Don't wait.
That's why. Yeah.
Don't wait. I want to come back to this point about following, because following should not just be just habit. Because if I say, where you want to go, and you say, I want to go to San Martino church. Okay. What you do is you go out here and you start walking in the direction to the right, and you go to the end of the road, then you get to the main road, you keep going straight down, and then somehow one of the small roads you turn off, and that will take you. Then you say, okay, right, and then I will check in with you. So after 15 minutes, I call you. Okay, where are you? I'm in Urik. Urik? No, you missed the point altogether. Have you not followed my advice? And actually, what happened, in London, it used to be like this, in fact. People would call and say, can I come and see you? And yes, I even send them email exactly how to get to my place. And then they end up in another town. And I said, but what happened? What happened? They're lost, What happened? Oh, I went to Brixton, and then I asked somebody, the bus, I said, but you didn't have to ask anybody. I already wrote the number. I asked one man, he said, that's not the way. You must get the other one, the 2B bus. The number, I said, number 2B doesn't come to me. It goes to a place sound like my address, but it's not. You see? Then I live where I live, no? You want to I think I should know very well where you should go. And then you go someplace else. So I don't know, even to follow the instructions or the advice, sometimes we change it for some reason. Habit, I don't know why. So I want to know how long you need to follow me for. If my pointing is direct, if it is direct, how long it should take. If it is you're walking, then I ask you, then how long, you ask how far is it. I say it's 1,000 kilometers, or it will take you a long time. So how far to the place I'm asking you to follow? How far? Then I tell you, it is no distance. How are you going to follow something that's got no distance? I want some results today. Huh? If you ask me, I want to go Samartino, okay, 2 kilometers away. 2 kilometers, okay, we can calculate. How far to myself? How you can miss the way? And is there a way even? Huh? So you say, I'm confused. And I say, well, I can look, I see you're confused because you keep thinking you are somewhere else and something else. So let's try and clear this up. So that's what I ask you to follow. And just to keep checking that you keep thinking that you are someplace else, but you're here. I feel this pointing, I don't think it's even worth to call it a teaching. That's why I say only pointing. You see, pointing is direct. Teaching you have to learn. And after you learn, then you must practice. But pointing says, it's here.
Yeah, I mean, I just...
What gets in the way of this full recognition? What gets in the way? Because somehow we have an idea that what we are searching for is something very high and far away, and only some people, have only heard of the Buddha, and he's a very big guy, and it cannot just be me. So there must be something spectacular in it, something very difficult. I said, no, it is not. Let's have a look and see if it's difficult. Let's see if it is spectacular. And you say you reach one point where you experience, when you were much younger, bliss. And you experience this bliss. And then now you say, my mind is a bit afraid of bliss. Why? Because when the bliss is there, the mind is not there. You see? Where was the mind then? When the bliss, where did he hiding somewhere? Then he come back from where it comes from. And now he's back in. I said, no, let's not go there to the bliss. You stay with me. I'll give you the bling. You want the bliss. Huh?
That's interesting. You say the bling. It reminds me of. I sent you a question before, by the way, this year. It was the second Satsang of 2014, I think. And it was like with my spiritual name, but I returned it to Swami Nityananda. And yes. The name was Sri Ananda Kubera. I don't know the question.
Explain.
Sorry?
Explain. The name means?
Oh, the name means Blissful Lord of Wealth.
Yes.
And yeah, that's why the bling.
That's why I say the bliss and the bling. The bliss is the bliss, and the bling is wealth, and the bling, the wealth, and the bliss, the bliss or the bling.
So I was blessed with a name that had both, or the best of both worlds, or something like that. I don't know. That was the most awesome name, I think.
Yes.
But I returned it because I didn't feel the connection I had before with the Swami. And now I'm starting to develop that thing I had with him, with you. And I don't know if I should get into the question.
As you are free, whatever.
Okay. Anyway, because I remember last time there was just one person sitting, I think. Maybe I should talk about that, because when I watch you from home, it's sometimes I fall asleep because I'm lying in bed, because that's most comfortable, and I know we should not lie here, but at home you're not really there, So you say we're in the same room, but at the same time we're not really in the same room.
Now we are.
Now we are. Yeah, of course. Yeah. I'm just thinking, like, it would be awesome to be with you for some time. I don't know.
But that would be to postpone what is possible now.
Okay. Yeah.
Isn't it?
Okay.
Because if I want to be with you sometime in the future, why? Because in sometime in the future, when I'm with you, maybe I might realize the self. I said, but the self is here now.
Of course, yeah. So, okay. So,
But it's true, no? Because this is also the mind, always later, no? After we do end up getting, and I'm ready, and then after we can do this. I said, but you cannot do the self. You can only recognize it.
okay.
Some people say realize it, recognize it, no? Hmm? What is missing? What is missing here? Hmm? What is missing? Hmm?
I don't. I'm trying to find the words. It has to do with conditioning.
Mm-hmm. But conditioning is for the person, no? The person itself is conditioning. And you are aware of conditioning. You're aware of conditioning. You're aware of the sense of your person. You who are aware of all these things, what is that conditioned? That which is aware of conditioning, is it also conditioned? Hmm?
I just caught myself doing something. It's like I believe we have like these deep engraved conditionings that we're not even aware of, maybe. But I don't know. Like I remember you said something, but I think someone already said this.
What is it that can be so conditioned? Is it your essence? Can your essence be so conditioned?
No, that is pure. Like the pure thing remains pure. I believe this. Like it's always there.
Why don't we just go to that?
Okay. Yeah.
And leave the rest because
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Because why keep it wait? Is it waiting somewhere? The pure. We have to make one step before we go to the pure. Where is the pure essence? Is it too holy to be here? The pure essence.
Mm. No, I know it's omnipresent. I've like you cannot know 100% sure, of course, but
You who would be 100% sure is what?
that's the person, and that's also
No person is 100% sure about anything. I want to get somewhere with this because it is really what I came here to explore, and not to make fun about it, but to point to that. Because I keep hearing people say, "But it's so difficult," and I say, "But it's not even easy. Not difficult, not easy." All of these are excuses that come from the mind person. No? It's like we are missing the obvious or something. You are the obvious, but obviously you don't realize it. We are speaking always from the person. I want to get straight in. I don't think we need time to warm up again and to slowly start from A, B, C, D, E. No, you don't need time to warm up. You see, everybody speak from the person. I did this and I studied here and so on. And I'm a little bit fed up of it. I tell you why. No? Nobody seems fed up of it at all. We keep going, like this, and I did this, and after this, and then I meditated for so long, and I did this, and it seems good enough. But I'm saying, but all of this, the one who's meditated, and all of this is just memory and ideas that we have. Even when you are meditating to try and find the self, there's an awareness of the meditating to try and find the self. The self is there looking at the meditating to try and find the self. Can it be like this? Has anybody grasped it or not? Then somehow it's something should be finished there. A persistent sort of delusion or misunderstanding. But why is it taking me so long? And I say, you are who? You see, I cannot have this conversation everywhere. I'm happy that on earth I can find some place we can talk like this. Because everybody accepts that we are this body only and the conditioning inside this body. And it's enough of a information, and we embrace it like a fact. And yet the evidence is who we take ourselves to be keep on changing, changing, changing. How you feel about yourself at any moment. You feel so real until time passes and you see, but no, that's what I used to believe then, and now I believe something else. So this character is always changing. Yeah, so which is the true version? You see? Then there is an awareness of all these changes. No? I'm only pointing to this, but something inside the sort of the mind, the identity, seem to not be able to pop out of itself. It's still in the place of the person. I did this, and I don't know how you hear me, because what I'm saying, I feel, is so simple as the words I can put for the moment. But maybe it's heard in a way that sounds very complex, but it is very simple. That's because it's so simple. If you listen on the basis of being a person, you will not quite understand what I'm talking. It would seem like, okay, maybe in the future I'll understand. Yeah? Because you want the person to change or to become enlightened. But this is also a kind of... It's not true. Enlightenment, there's not freedom for the person. The freedom is from the person. That's why your mind is afraid of the bliss. So when the bliss is here, the mind is not there. The person is not there. Now, are you afraid that your person may not be around? And now the feeling is you will only be afraid that the person vanish if you feel the person is all there is. And you're only able to evaluate a state when you're coming out of it. When you're in it, it feels like it's everything. When you're coming out, you feel, oh my gosh, it's nothing. It's a small bubble. I've been living in a bubble. It doesn't matter how great. Maybe the prime minister of your country has been living in a bubble. Everybody living in little bubbles of ideology, philosophy, identity.
It's funny. My name is Vishal, by the way, and it means great or something. I had the spiritual name already told, and I thought maybe you can give me a new name if you feel.
On top of all of those ones?
I returned my name. I returned my previous name. Yeah, I know Vishal is Sanskrit also. Like I'm happy with it, but
you have to go to no name.
Okay.
I go first to no name.
Okay.
Before names come, because you are the one who is aware of the name. You're aware of names. You change a name, you are still the one who is aware of name. What is the name of the one who is aware of all names? And where is it? It's a simple question. I say simple question. But yet we seem so baffled, because each of them is like a mirror that throws you back into yourself, you know.
I'm thankful that you're in my life. Yeah. You just keep pointing. I don't know.
Yes, I'm pointing from inside. Come here. Come here. Come here. This is why the one who is true don't tell you go, it tell you come. That's the thing, no? Go means you go out. Come means stay here. Come here. Be here.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
All right. To come to a place with what we call the direct path, if you want to say. I don't even know if we can even call path, because path means going somewhere. What is direct, you see? It's not so appealing, funny enough, because we say we all want happiness and peace and joy. that inner freedom. But we seem not to want it directly. Unless life hurts really bad, then you want it now. But we don't want it directly. We want to practice. We like practice, and we like all these things, the preparation and getting there, and people you meet on the journey, and coming close, and yes, we can see, and like this, something like this. But you say, but direct? What about direct? Oh, that's too direct, no? So maybe we like the idea of freedom more than freedom itself. So those who come to a place like this, which is pointing directly, already something is very good. Because he said, well, I've tried many indirect ways. I still didn't get there. And now, direct, you see. I want to find it now. I want to see it now, not later. So I don't want to make appointments for freedom. I want now. I'm here now. Then we see if you are truly ready or not. Because some say, I'm ready, then come not. You want to say? Come. What do you want to do?
Hi, Mooji. This was supposed to be Namaste, 360 degrees.
360 degrees.
360 degrees.
Okay.
Because I am that. And I was always that. I'm not looking. And I don't want to get away from here to somewhere else where it's peaceful. It's absolutely peaceful right here. Even if it's a disaster, it's peaceful. And that's just showing what I perceive inside myself all the time. There's actually nothing more to say, and I don't want to leave this place, or it changes, but I'm always there with the change. And I can say what I find as, I don't need a confirmation from you. I don't need acknowledgement. I don't need all this. I have it in myself. And I find out that everything which happens here, everywhere, is in synchronicity, and it's calibrating itself, and is in a symbiosis with everything else. And I can see that. And it lifts me. These things, it lifts me. I could say, let the words out of my mouth be acceptable at thy side. They are acceptable. All my words, every word, everything is acceptable. With everybody, with everything. Everybody gets exactly what he needs, always. No exception. Never. I hear myself saying that. Yes, I say that. And it is like that. How I'm so sure about it. Now I'm just speaking about it. Words are spoken. But those sureness I got, or it's appeared through a feeling. So being touched, a third type of crying, I would call it. I'm not in this space now. I'm in a space of speaking. But this
Why should it make any difference whether you're, what is...
It makes no difference. It makes no difference. Just express in which form I'm here now.
We don't need to do that.
No, I don't need to do that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, very good. Come.
I've only come to bow at your feet. I'm so full of love from the first moment I ever saw you. It was through Gaston Saint-Pierre, the man who wanted to die before you died. Our very best friend for many, many years he has been. And I can only say I'm the self, and the self provides everything.
Yes.
I'm full of love and nothing else to say.
Yeah.
I give this to you, you don't have to wear it, but it's a symbol for you.
Look at that. What is it?
A man in the woods close to Berlin gets this wood from Australia and carves it. Yes, a man in the woods close to Berlin. He's sitting, not speaking, but carving with wood from Australia. And yes, give it to somebody.
No, I won't do that. Very good.
My mother, who has died long, long time ago, she wrote into a book for me, the highest you cannot say, you can only sing it. I just try to sing some tones. I don't know whether I can do it because I'm nervous, but I'm a musician and I hope to sing for you at other times also.
Another time? No.
Yes, of course, yes.
Very good. So good, it's wonderful. Thank you. Very good. please come. Hi, darling.
Hi, Mooji. Since it's my last satsang, I thought, I'm a bit nervous as well, I'll check in before I check out.
Okay. Yeah.
So, basically I followed the retreat online that you did in Rishikesh at the beginning of the year. And I must say that for me, it's very simple and very direct.
Yeah.
I stalled once, and then I thought, just follow what he's saying. And, phew. Well, basically, some years ago, I had what I thought was an awakening when I first recognized the presence of God, or the presence that I called God. And watching your retreat, what I recognized and discovered was that this presence is me.
Yes.
Oh. And yeah, my life just opened up, my heart just opened up. There was no resistance. From the time I saw you online, I felt the connection, my heart is open. And any friends that I recommend to watch, I say, listen with the heart. So listen with the mind, listen with the heart. Because your heart tells you what's true. Since then, the fire's been burning. And it's still burning, but it's okay. And I think the biggest resistance that's there for me is the heart knows, but the mind doesn't understand. And I'm aware of that. And I think because I've always been a very logical person, the mind, I'm just aware of the fact that the truth is beyond belief. So the mind likes beliefs. It likes things it can latch onto. With this, you can't latch onto it. It just is.
Yes.
So my question is, does that ever go? Or is it always...
It will stay for as long as you give value to it. Sometimes we feel the mind maybe still has something in this role as a kind of guide and so on, that it's onto something, it's working something through, it's going to get there in the end, and all of these things. So we keep giving it more visa time, keep trying.
So it is easier just to let it go? Just let it go? Is that the easiest thing?
You know how to let it go?
I do sometimes. Well, I give it to grace.
Yes.
It has to be for me. I can't. It's not a passive thing.
Yes.
I came through the Christian faith.
Yes.
And for me, prayer is something that has been a strong part of my life.
Yes.
So when I find that something is there, I just pray and I say, you know what? I give it to grace.
Very good.
Because to give it is easier because I feel as if I'm giving it to grace.
Yes. Than to try and figure it out.
Yes.
Very good. You're good. Swiftly done.
Yes. And for me, the directness, gosh, absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
And maybe I don't know if it's a blessing that it was just so straightforward.
Yes.
But to me, I've never really been a spiritual seeker as such. I say, no, I haven't. Spirit just seems to fall on me. But this was just direct, and from the moment you know. And then, as I said, it's just a burning. I'm seeing a lot of ego. And again, I'm learning not to judge it, not to feel guilt or whatever, just to recognize, okay, I can see this is there. And whether it takes tears or prayer or whatever, one way or the other, I know that it's falling away. And sometimes it's a bit challenging, but it's all good.
You must disappoint, like you still see the sense, you sense the presence of ego or the movement of ego and so on. And what makes it seem strong, because identity is there. And its pull is to pull you into the sense of something personal, to make it personal. If it becomes personal, it's got a kind of hold, you see, because you identify with the person, and then now it's the person who has to try and get out of something. But the whole thing is a kind of concoction. The whole thing is a dream. The whole thing is not real.
And actually, another thing I do, thanks to Shivam recommended, I downloaded some guided meditations on my phone.
Yes.
So sometimes when I'm in the midst of something, because sometimes something will just get you, and you can feel like, I'm feeling this. And you try to say, yes, it's just the mind, but it doesn't work. I plug in. Guided meditation. I said, Mooji, take me back home. And sometimes that's enough, because once I'm in that space, there's no attachment to whatever has happened or whatever somebody did or whatever somebody said, or the attachment's gone. So if I can't do it myself, I use guided meditation to take me back.
Very good.
So that was it, really. I just thought it would be a shame to miss the opportunity not to come up. And I think there was a bit of fear there as well.
Yes.
So I thought, step into the fear. I don't know. I think because, what is that? Yes, I feel as though it's like being naked. Because for your whole life, you're performing almost. And through this experience, there's no need to perform. So really, it's as if you're being seen in a way that you haven't been seen before. Mm-hmm. So I think that's probably the fear. It's just about
okay, let's look at
seen.
it then. Now before you say something very beautiful. You say, it seems all our lives we are performing, because the person is a performer. Mm-hmm. So somehow it has to see how it's doing, how well I'm doing, am I liked enough, did I do well, did I make an impression, and this type of stuff. So it takes a lot of energy to be a person, to keep it up. It takes no energy to be yourself, isn't it? So then comes this point, now I am sort of seeing all of this for the first time. I'm not in performance. Now I'm naked, you say naked. Okay? When you are naked, meaning that even you are undressed even of this body even. Okay?
That's a nice part.
Yeah. He undressed even of this body. The body also is like a garment. We've been referring that the body is me. The body never said it is you. The body never said, look, I am Joanne's, or I belong to Lorraine. It doesn't know. But we say, I am the body. You see? So let's leave that aside also. We don't have to pick up that idea. So undressed of everything, of all ideas, no? I'm just whatever I am. Now, what is that? Just look. Just look. You take off all the ideas of the person. I am this. I am so. My age is this. I studied here. This is my parents. This is my college. This is where I live. This is so. All these are to do with reference to the body and to the idea of a person. And now that something is aware of all these things. It is not all those things. It is aware of that. It's been using these references as a reference somehow to what it is. But without those references for a moment, what is here now? How can they see you now? When you're not performing, when you're not performing a performance, what is there to be seen then? How do we see you? The body is seen, of course, the body is seen.
But I don't think, I can't really, it seems to me that I can't be seen really.
Yes.
Because I'm not a thing.
Yes. You're not a thing. So if you're not a thing, how are you seen?
I don't think you're seen, I think you're felt.
Felt. This is it. You're felt. Like you cannot cannot see the wind. You can feel it and you can perceive its effect, but you cannot see it. Sometimes it says the spirit is like the wind. You see, you can feel him. When we look at one who is free of ego, the body helps you to perceive the inner being. But what are you perceiving? An object? No. You see, you're in the presence of something that is not physically tangible, but is felt physically also. In the physical body you feel it also. But it's not an object.
So thank you, Mooji, for enabling me to experience true freedom and space and life.
You know you are, but what you are you cannot show. It can only be. But somehow, in that recognition somehow, which I call a non-phenomenal recognition, meaning that is not a recognition of a thing, an object. It's like a recognition of beingness or spirit. You see, how you recognize. You see, because it's a different presence is in the body. It's not the person. The person has a psychological force to it. Even if they don't speak, you can feel uncomfortable because the energy is not clean. But the holy presence is very different. It's empty, and the perfume of it is peace and the lightness and joy. If you come into the orbit of such a one, already the consciousness is raising up to a higher level inside. Feel more light, more spacious, more happy. This is why people travel so much to holy places, many places associated with saints and prophets and awakened beings, and with those who have worshipped a lot in a place. Then the place almost is like it gets absorbed. It absorbs all this spiritual force. And people go, they can feel it. They feel happy there. They feel, I'm here. I feel blessed here. But it started, what? With the presence, you see. You are that presence, freed from the mental identity, psychological identity. The presence is pure. You see. It brings light to the world, joy to the world, peace. Very good. Thank you. Very good. Please come.
I don't know a question. I'm full of gratitude and love, and thank you so much. And also bring you the love of my. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just full of gratitude and love, and thank you so much. And bring you also the love of my husband Thomas.
Oh, okay.
Who is here with us on internet.
Okay.
And
Hi, Thomas.
You embraced us in London.
Yes.
Easter 2013.
Yes.
I'm just so thank you that you are there. pointing and just being truth and just being self and just being grace. And never have we been apart, Mooji. I just didn't know. You're always with us.
Yes.
With me also. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
You are the love I am.
Yeah. Yes. 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 And this is a taste of the love that created this whole world. And sustained it. Please come.
So when I'm at presence, I feel so disconnected. I feel that I'm only looking.
When you are present, you say.
Uh-huh.
When you are not present as in time, but when you are the presence.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yes.
You feel disconnected
Yes.
from. Yeah. Okay.
Because I'm in. Yeah, I cannot be seen, like the other woman said. I'm not something.
I'm something different than the rest. Yeah.
What is your feeling?
It's
not disconnected.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really the first word you say.
Mm-hmm.
It's not disconnected. It's something. How do you feel? What do you perceive?
That here is nothing, empty. Everything is here. I'm not here. You are in me. Yeah, maybe it's the mind that gets in then, makes me confused. So how can I live life?
Yes, this come from mind.
That's from mind, eh?
This come from
yes.
mind.
Yeah.
Immediately you smell him also.
Yes, yeah.
Because he raises doubt.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
And only because some seed is there that encourage him to come.
Yeah.
You see? Like something is like not sitting completely in yourself.
Yes.
This is like, almost there's some detachment. Then the mind brings in the feeling of indifference and how can you live like this?
Mm-hmm.
How can you?
Yeah.
As though you have to know how to live. You don't need to know how to live.
Yes, I understand.
This is an idea that was given to you.
Yeah, I am only am.
Yes.
I understand.
Yes. And out of your amness, you're fresh. You're in the moment. Your life is spontaneity itself. Come. Of course, it does not mean that if you have to go someplace in another few weeks, and you need to book your ticket now, that you should no. That's future. No, something knows. It's the right time. It moves now to. You see. It comes inside and out of this nowness. It comes, this I am feeling. Everything is there. This how to live life and how do you do things. It's a burden.
But if I'm only that am,
Okay.
I'm only am.
Yes.
I'm.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, then that's it, huh?
No, you're using your mind now.
Yeah, maybe.
You're using your mind now. You see? So you are. It's not a special way to be or nothing. You see? You come, what does it mean, I am? Means that somehow from this place of I am, everything, what comes through the senses and from the mind, it is also perceived that they come and go. And something responds to some and leaves others. It knows perfectly well. The person is also doing this. It's choosing some things and discarding some things. And somehow in the state of presence also, some things are left and some things are embraced. But it's very automatic, it happens, no? And the person looking for the benefit of this is not there. So it's very natural for you. If someone throws you an apple, you'll catch it. It won't just hit you on the head if you see. You see? Everything is functioning naturally. And you see, as you move, you're not bumping into trees and stuff like this. You're moving. The consciousness is there. So it's not. You don't need to know how to walk. You don't need to know how to rest. You don't need to know how to eat. All this is with you. Everything is happening naturally. The rest is just some thing that says, but how will you do something? Well, why don't you find out how life does it? Not how you do it.
It is as if I have to cut the total connection with the person. And I also saw that the person doesn't exist. I also see that.
If one sees that the person doesn't exist, then there's nothing to cut.
Yeah.
It just does not feature. Huh?
Yeah.
The fight is not with the person. I would say more just simply to keep recognizing that even the sense of personhood is also seen, so it is also phenomenal. You understand when I often use this word phenomenal because I don't know if people understand what I mean. Whatever is perceived through the senses or the mind from any zone of time, anything that you perceive or think or imagine or remember, all of this is the product of the mind. It is fine also. It's there in the dynamic expression of consciousness as life and the sense of multiplicity of beings and work and time and the holidays and all of this. It can be there, that's also fine. But it is very different when it is lived on the basis of this notion, I am this person who, full of conditioning, believes life should be like this and not like this. And I like these people, not those people. And all of this complexity. Whereas in the state of presence and being, that is not there. It's something that's very natural. You'll still, if you like pancakes in the state of personhood, you will not stop liking pancakes as presence. You may still just enjoy. Everything is kind of there. You see, it was never the trouble. None of these things in themselves is trouble. It was the mind and the identity that thinks, yes, I want to be more like this. I want to be special. I want to be known. I want to... This craving that will... And you'll be happy to be rid of it. You see? It's not bringing you into somehow you're sitting on your hands, you don't do anything from... No. You will come to understand what it means, that somehow you're empty, but there's a fullness in it. There's a contentment. There's peace. There's no fear. And life unfolds. In each moment it's unfolding in whichever way. Then also you're not so deeply attached to the unfolding because that is also ephemeral. It is also momentary. Everything is momentary and it's okay.
Yes, I'm all mixed up.
That is an idea. I am all mixed up is an idea you don't need to hold on to. Just you are.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm mixed up is excess. You don't need it. If you pick this idea, you believe it, then you believe it into a sense of reality, and it starts to trouble you. You don't need to be holding on to any definition of yourself also. Stay lightweight. You see, the thoughts can feel so heavy. One thought can create such trouble. And yet when you're fully aware that yourself is not a thought, then you can use all thoughts as and when needed somehow, without them leaving any deep impression inside the consciousness. Something here is not thought made. And then there is a space which is very heavily endowed with thinking. And that world but also you need not be a prisoner there. Prisoner means that you're tied up in many concepts in that realm. You believe them, you're attached to them. So then somehow you feel somehow caught in a net somehow. Then when you realize that that is also just a thought, then instantly you're out of it. Amazingly, we can feel for years, lifetimes, suffer from a certain concept. In one instant you can be free of it also. And yet for lifetimes you can be seemingly trapped in it. When you realize them for what they are, but the mind has somehow converted them into something very powerful. Stay in the presence, the sense I am, and don't offer it to the mind. If somebody says, "How are you going to do that?" I say, "Well, let's see. Let's see." The moment you start to speculate, you're in trouble. Then you start to calculate. But if I do this, then maybe but what's going to take care of this? And again, you're back into that mind stream. No? We have to see. See. One thing that happened is that for the person suffers because they have no trust in life. person is easily prone to feelings of insecurity and so on. So the mind energy is very high. Then we're acting prematurely because there's a fear that if you leave things too long, you'll miss your opportunity, you'll be late, and then you'll be at a loss or something. So very often we're acting prematurely out of this anxiety. In Satsang you learn to simply just observe. And when you observe even your reactions, then you can go past them. You don't get stopped with your reactions, but you can observe them. And so something settles down even deeper beneath them. Then you come to a space which is just a space of peace. You meet that cosmic vibration. And then you see that everything is flowing here. Everything in life is a flow here. But you've been missing that flow because we're acting prematurely up here. When you come to feel and experience the flow, natural trust comes and you see that life takes care of life, not the person, you see. The person gets taken care of also because the person is also a form of consciousness. But because of the tendency towards habits and arrogance, selfishness and so on, it doesn't benefit from the grace that surrounds it. It misses it, no? When it recognizes the grace, it loses its arrogance, becomes more humble, more open, more full of gratitude and joy. When it's not so threatened, it feels more open, more giving. And the tides changed, the climate changed from one of anxiety to one of peace and space. No? And you check in also, you're checking in. Who am I here now? Is it something tangible that can be seen? Can what I am be photographed, for instance? Does it have a shape or color or size or something? Just these questions themselves, and not just abstractly, and not just mentally, but with feeling, looking, you see? And then something naturally throws them out, says, no, these are just qualities they're seen. What sees them? Can what sees them be seen? But I am, but there's no photograph of I am. There's no information about I am. Just this lovely fragrance of peacefulness and content.
But this I am cannot talk, it can only see. I'm noticed.
It is behind the talking.
Yeah.
You know, it is behind the talking.
Yes.
It's beyond, you see?
Yeah.
It is really the field of harmony. Yeah? It is the field of harmony. So everything arises out of this ground of harmony. You see, it causes the speaking to happen, but now the speaking is happening with a different vibration, not with a vibration of anxiety and personhood and some psychological energy, but from harmony and from love and from, you see, from wisdom.
Maybe you said detached. Maybe that's the word that I mean. It's like a little bit detached. It's not so in.
The person is too much in.
Yes.
The person is too heavily involved and attached to things. And so the person's environment emotionally is very claustrophobic. Many things to remember, many things to do, many things to avoid. And you see, it's always on call. In the state of presence, it's very different. There's more space. Your vision is more open, more panoramic, more, things slow down. It's not so intense. You don't have the sense that you're doing them, but simply that they're happening. And we all can see this. It's not something I am making up. You see it in your life. And the more some things slow down, then you don't feel like you're rushing. You think somehow something takes care of it. You don't have to be there pressing every button. Something is taking care of it. You experience this also. Yes. And on top of this, you don't require life to be any particular way. In every way, it's okay. It seems to be okay. The person is different. You see? Person requires all the time, requires things to be this way and that way before it can say, now I can relax. It has to put things, it has to create a kind of theater, an environment, is control. You see, and then it's cannot let go of that control. From the state of presence, control is not needed. Everything is flowing harmoniously. So it is very different experientially. Not thinking your life, not strategizing existence. You are the existence, you are the life itself. At the same time, witnessing of this life and its unfolding occurs to you quite spontaneously. But sometimes we have a strong attachment to the person, the personal. Much investment is there. And so strong involvement, and the sense of moving away from that or leaving that feels painful, like it's a loss. And so fear comes, then resistance comes. But it's all somehow to do with this personal insecurities of person. And yet the person doesn't really exist. It is the consciousness that is experiencing personally. It's not that it is experiencing the person, it is experiencing personally. Then it feels like person. We call it self-person, you see. When you say I, it is consciousness. I am is the name of God. Meaning of the fold of that, of the heavenly fold, of the harmony, of the oneness. How are you feeling at this moment?
Sorry?
How are you feeling inside your being?
Yes.
Yes.
Relaxed.
Yes.
Relaxed.
Yes.
Mind is quiet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Because carrying concepts around is heavier than carrying a bag of stones on your head, basket of stones. Something relaxes again, and you are in a state of grace, presence again.
Yes.
Yeah. Very good. Please come. Yeah, thank you.
Sorry, I have once practiced the I am practice. I saw the video, and on the third time I watched one of your videos. I mean, that was the third video I watched, and I would say feel, but even saying feel is not the exact word. And when I was practicing, I had my eyes closed, and I started like yawning, and I felt something really came out of me.
Yes.
I even had the impression that my body, after that, my body fell on the bed. And when I went to the toilet during the night, I went to the toilet. The way I walked was very light, like I was something new for me. But it was so I would say maybe emotional. I sat with my girl for hours during those days. I would try to explain her,
but she would understand me, but I know she wouldn't really
Experience
feel.
it. She couldn't experience it, but she could
Yes,
understand what you're...
and I was emotional because I also was trying to explain to my friends.
Yes.
I would say, okay, this is your body. They would say yes. I would just try to break down and make them understand, because for me it wasn't even understanding. It's just
Direct experience.
I can try to explain, but there's no words. It's just like I even was aware. Like now, I can say, okay, I'm aware of my fingers, my body, of myself, and I can say I am, but it's like it's a lie. It's like everything is dead. It's not the same thing I felt, and it lasted for 3 days. I could feel during those 3 days, on the second, on the third day, it was like I was becoming this normal person again.
Yes.
And after the third day, I just felt, wow, yeah, this is me, normal. But what I really felt, it just went away. And I also realized that I would say, before feeling that, I would say, well, I'm just a normal person, and I'm happy. But when I felt that, I said, whoa, I wasn't happy. I'm happy now. And I used to go to the gym before, but on those 3 days, even my strength, everything was just. And I said to my girl, I remember I told her, if I knew I would feel like this, just I would trade a part of my body. Even if someone said, look, you have to lose your arm or your leg, I wouldn't think twice. Just to feel the way I was. But it gradually just was going away, and I just felt as normal as before. But this normal, I would say normal, but doesn't feel real. I tried to practice, I tried many times, and I just say to myself, I did the first time and went straight away. I could, I would say realize it's not even feeling, it's just everywhere. I would go in the shower, on the street, everywhere I would feel it.
Yes.
But it just went away.
It cannot go away. It is the only thing that's here, really. Let me say, the mind force comes back. Just like we look up and you say the sun rises and then the sun sets. But in actuality, the sun does not move. It's the earth that's moving. But you don't feel the movement of the earth. You see? It moves and turns away, so to speak, that side from the sun, and the sun seems to be going up. And then it goes the other way and the sun seems to be coming down. But the movement is only seen from here. In the same way, we are looking like that in some way. I'm going to explain what happened, but actually what happens is that the mind came back. You say it started to come back. You say the thing went away. It didn't go away. Your sense of personhood or the sense of normality is coming back. But you witness this coming backness. No? Now, don't try just to hold on to the experience. Just notice that now the feeling of me being here again, this my fingers, my hand is coming again. But that's also weakness. Don't try and match this experience. This came for a reason. It came to put in place something that maybe you believe now becomes real for you. You know that it exists. It was not your imagination. You see? And that state is one's actually natural state. normally people don't experience it as intensely as happened with you. They just come to a state of presence. They don't feel the sense of a person anymore. They feel very light and open. All life is taking place in that state. Like I said before, if you had the flu for 2 weeks, then everything, your whole life is being lived in the flu state. When you eat, you're eating in flu state. When you brush your teeth, you brush your teeth in flu state. When you're on the computer, you're on the computer in flu state. When you sleep, you're in flu state. And in the same way, everything is happening in the state of pure awareness. This awareness is the constant. Everything else is the variable. But you may say, but I did not feel this before. I only knew my life as an ordinary person. I never knew this awareness state or this indescribable state. I didn't know it. Because mostly we are living in a kind of coma of our true state. Now something introduced to the mind, the sense of the idea you have of who you are is how we've been living. And now somehow you have experienced, you come back without the you, because in fact you were without you in that state. You were without your person, so to speak. And that's why you see that all of this feels like unreal. You'll get used to it. This now, it will seem as though it come and go. Something comes and goes. After a while, you see that it watches coming and going, but it does not move. It does not. It is not something that, how could it go? Look now and see. How could it go? In what way it can go? What was it to go? What was it that it could go or even come? It's your person that went. Your identity went, and this was what remained, and this is what is now. This is the natural state. It is there even if you are angry for a moment. You feel anger, it still is there. It doesn't go away. When you feel joy, when you feel anything, it is occurring inside the space of this. This is the unchanging self. Where are you living now? In what place? Where are you? Yes. As what are you here? Speak in there. As what are you here?
It's like something just becomes blank.
Yes.
And then very quick, it's me again. This me, this ordinary me. And the thought, a thought just crosses my mind. It's like, just leave it. It's like, because this blankness. I mean, I have had a lot of experiences. It's just, I don't even think of it. it just happens, and there's no way I can understand it. And what right now, what happened? It mostly happened many times. Whenever I was on the bus in London, it was just like a flash. Something. I would be with my eyes open, but it's not like a thought, like I am the universe, but it just happened. It's very quick, and whenever happened, I would feel that like something coming out, and I would laugh. I didn't think it, and then it was just like, boom, and then I would look at people around me and say, "Oh, why did I laugh?" But it wasn't this me laughing, and I would just try to go back to feel the same thing. It wouldn't happen, and suddenly, on a different day, it would happen. It's just like, boom. But it's like I'm the universe, but very quick, I would go back to this person, but I say, hey, why did I laugh again?
Yeah.
And look around people. It was on the bus. I would just think, okay, can I feel that again without laughing? I would concentrate. Nothing happened.
Yeah. What I can say about this, because something has perforated the usual bubble of personal consciousness, and it manifests in very, very different forms, many different ways in which the consciousness can express itself. This is like one of them. But what I would say to you is like, it's okay. Don't be trying to get that experience again. If it happened, let it happen. But don't use that as that's the peak that I'm trying to get to. What is important is that the awareness is always here, in which even that experience took place also. The awareness is here, and even the sense of blank is also experienced, it's also watched, it's also observed. There's nothing to go beyond the blank to get. It's just a sensation. Just leave it. Everything is occurring through the senses and the mind. It's occurring in front of this space which is unchanging. Now, you may have intense blast of bliss, or it can happen like this. But I am going to say to you, don't run after that. Just stay as the awareness now. Don't say, oh yes, but now I'm back to this. This is also just a thought. You are just here. The awareness is what is here. And gradually, because if you are always in this state, then perhaps you are just going to be there are beings who experience like this. They don't move sometimes. They just stay there, and they're just in this state of bliss. People come and sit in front of them and touch their feet and go, because they're just in this bliss. But you have to come down also from this, because that by itself is not the pure awareness, in the sense that something comes back, goes back, comes back, goes back like this. But the weakness of these states is also there. Be in this awareness state, so that whatever occurs, it arises, and if it comes and goes, it's okay, but the awareness does not come and go. What is difficult is that once we have such a profound experience, we want to have it again, like this. But greater than that also, or as equal to this, is the awareness which is not looking for any highs or lows. It is constant. It is always here. It is not a feeling. It is not even an experience. It is the root, or the perceiving root of all that occurs for you. Let it happen how it wants. Something is behaving like this. Something happens that the consciousness manifests like this, in this form. And it feels intensely, sometimes I can quote you people like Sri Ramakrishna, would get into these bliss states when he would just hear the name of the Lord and he's gone. He's gone. And such powerful radiance of love and a sense of holiness. And people would come from all over to sit with him, and he'd be there in this state, frozen almost, in a state of bliss. And then gradually they would sing songs to him, and his consciousness would come again into a sort of more normal state again. But very easy at a certain point. Someone would say something, and or you will see something, and it would trigger again. It would be again in this state of total bliss, and then only could speak when he comes back down into ordinary state again. Then he speaks. This wisdom flowed from him. So there are many ways in which the self manifests like that. What you can do, nothing you can do about it. You are both that also and the weakness of this. You see? And no one can understand. It's not an understanding state. It's not a state, oh, well, you know, what you do or what was happening. Nothing to understand. It just is. It just is.
I think one of my main issues as well, I don't know if I can say my main issue, is that I try to go back to these experiences, and sometimes I even stop being normal because I want to experience the same thing. And there was one of experience that lasted very long. Was I would be like at work or even in the car with friends, but if I say I'm looking at Mooji or Papa G pictures or looking at someone right now, it's just looking. But before, it's kind of switch, be in this normal state, and then when I look, still the same picture, but that thing would happen, the breathing, and I would feel like there is a space between me and the object. Even building, I started practicing. It's not like I thought in doing it myself. No, I experienced it at home, and I would be playing with it. I would sit watching the TV, and suddenly, it's not even thinking. Suddenly, I would just, the TV is there, and very restful, and then go back again. And I would do it on the street as well. But when I do on the street, if I'm with a friend, then I would have like, not just that thing, like my breath would change, but I wanted to cry. Tears would come out of me, and I would just say something to my friend, like, okay, look at that building or something, for me to look away, so he couldn't look at my face because I was experiencing that. And then I would just, everything is normal. They wouldn't even notice it. But every time I try to go back and just think if I could see things that way. And every experience I had, after experiencing it, once it goes away, I would see you mentioning on a movie, on one of the videos, when you say, okay, space between you and the object. I would say, God, I lived it. It's not just because the object is there and there is a space. No, and it's not something you cannot understand. It's just living it, and there is life. I don't know. It's just
supposing
words.
I told you that this is my normal state. But without the, it used to be more like that. You see, very, very strongly. But now it doesn't matter. It doesn't change. It's not like it can come intensely sometimes, very intensely, of a intense benefit. That is also enjoyed, but I don't seek it. The state is so even now that nothing at all touches it. This is our natural state. I didn't do anything to create it, not created. It's your natural state. What gets in the way is the sense of personhood and the belief in this personhood. Even when you say, when I come back to my normal state, when I'm just this and so on, I don't have these measurements about it. Normal state or not normal state, I don't have any thought about it at all. Just inside, everything is coming from this emptiness. Nothing is planned at all. And this joy is, sometimes we started to say at Mantisage, too much joy, too much bliss, too much love. And then I ask sometimes, is it your experience? Is it your experience, you see? Or is it just we're speaking like that? Because it is like this, it's too much. It's too much. Not complaining, But it's like it's too much. Too much peace, too much joy. And yet we're not going around laughing. Sometimes people do. Sometimes crying. Sometimes laughing. Sometimes nothing at all. If you are experiencing such tremendous ananda states of bliss, maybe you can't do anything all day. You can't walk, you can't cook, nothing, you can't do anything. Sometimes the peace also, it is so powerful that it's like you're filled with mercury. You can't move. You physically cannot even to move, the eyelids are too heavy. The peace is rock-like like that even. And now the bliss is so much, you're walking like a chicken, walk about. So, but by themselves, I would not say this. Oh, that's it. You must, do it. No, if it manifests like this, it does, but not aiming for this anymore. That state of total equanimity, where you're not, you can't find who you are. You cannot find anything as a measure to say. No definition is there anymore. Yet intuitively, you are. But that's not, you say, oh, now I'm normal again. I would not know what it means. Just you are. So don't keep running for repeats of this. Then who are you who wants it? Who are you who wants it? Even, you see? Can you identify who is it that wants this experience also? And what watches the one who wants it? What is aware of the one who wants it also? And what is aware even of that bliss, even in its highest thrill, there's awareness of it also. Also, you must be there to experience the subsiding of it. You are also here to observe and to experience the subsiding of this state, the sense of it going away, the sense of the person coming back in. All of this is experience. What is experiencing this? Is it personal? Does it have a form, you see? Yeah. Just be in that. Just be in that. Not be in that to see if you can get back to that. Just be in this. And then if these things happen, they happen. Sometimes totally unexpectedly, some supercharge come. And it's like high voltage come of feeling. But then you don't dismiss, it's also there. It is also perceived also. That gradually things that were once experienced to be extraordinary, after a while becomes ordinary for you. But if someone who's not used to them experience them, like, whoa! You see? They say, yeah, don't worry, it's okay. Steady on, it's okay. You see? So don't go for the feeling or the experience. You see? Go for that which experience is experiencing. Be there in that which experience is experiencing. So that throughout all states, whether you're at home or at work with your family, it is constant. It is the constant. You see, not you make it constant. There's no you there to make it constant. You are that itself. I say this because I still meet from time to time people who says, yes, in 1978, I was walking and, somebody pushed me in the river and suddenly, I was in Satori and it never came back and I wanted to know what I did to lose it. I said, you didn't do anything at all. Who are you? See? At any time of the day, in any region of time, in any place, in any circumstance, in any situation, it is constant. It is not being constant, it is constant, it is ever present. It does not need warming up. It does not need to, chant before it can be itself. It is there. The chanting may happen and the vibration is pleasing to it, but it doesn't offer it anything. It causes all these things to be. Very good. Very good. Okay. Come.
Thank you, Mooji.
Thank you.
First, I just want to say how great it's been to be able to be at Manasahaja. It's been very beautiful.
Good.
Just wanted to express to you the thing that you're pointing, which I feel changed everything for me.
Yes.
Which was to throw everything out.
Yes.
For a long time, I had a lot of depression, and even now it seems even boring to even mention it because it feels so finished. But I just mention it because the things that used to come, when I realized I didn't have to give them my attention, it was the most amazing thing.
Yes. And how swift also it can be. How swift, just turn. Sometimes all the difference between heaven and hell is this. Huh?
Definitely.
Something wants to climb in. Chop it.
It is swift, actually. And even earlier this week, when I had something kind of bubbling up in our Satsang, I felt so finished with it. very quickly, and just I can just throw this out too, and I don't have to hold myself to an image even of that. I can completely throw all of that out.
What's left now? All is thrown out. All is thrown out. All is turned away from. Not out of fear, also. Just out of your own freedom and your own power. To not engage with any of that. The things themselves can be there, but any obsession with it, any sort of creating too much around it, any storifying, just finish. Then what remains now? Who are you? Yeah.
I don't have a name. I don't have a definition.
Yes, this is good. Intuitively, you know you are, and you know that you're experiencing, you're perceiving. So that perception is functioning, and awareness of that functioning. Stay in this very simple state. It's not a frozen state. It's not an intense state. It's simply completely natural. Then things are unfolding and by themselves. Whatever come, goes.
Yeah, this morning, I'm just taking some time to rest. And even now, actually, there's such a feeling of... I can't explain, really. But as if the dimmer switch is just way up.
Yeah, what happened?
The dimmer switch.
The dimmer switch has been
just
turned
way
up.
High.
Yeah. Yes.
And I've heard you ask before, can you bear your own silence? And at times it feels like, no. Right now it's not a problem.
Is there anybody there to bear it? Anybody there to suffer it? This silence and yourself, they are synonymous, they are one. Just like the smell of the rose and the rose is one harmony. Because you are, peace is with you, joy is with you, happiness is with you. They are your perfume. Suppose the rose couldn't stand the smell of rose. Oh my God. I just wish I was lavender or something. It cannot be like that.
Yeah, I was thinking, actually, the question in my mind, is this feeling, is this you or is this me? But it has to be me.
Where does you end and I begin? What part of it?
I can't find that.
Yeah. Then you can drop you and me. What? Try now. You drop you and me and what happened? Can you function like that without you and me?
My heart's still beating.
Yes. And then the sense you and me it can come in naturally, no? But try. Don't touch I and other. I and you. Yeah. What remain here, you see? It's not only nothing, it's kind of nothing something. We don't know what to call. A vibration, maybe you can feel. Is it missing anything? No, not missing anything. Outside you speak I and you, inside nothing. Total serenity. You don't have to tell people what is on the inside. They will feel it. This is good. Thank you. That's good. Okay, it looks like we can come to the end of this part of Satsang for now. And we were about to take a break. And but before, we'll have some music or not? Somebody will come and play something. And what happens in satsang is that naturally your beingness and the mind also, either the mind has to flee, go way out, or it must come into a higher vibration of being. It merges with the self. And there is just a sort of space. We call it also that the mind goes into samadhi, or into the state of harmony. You see? And so there's a lightness of being. This lightness of being becomes increasingly your climate internally. So that even though the scenes may change outside and the situations and so on, inside is a kind of constant climate of peace. You see? Then sometimes we have the sense that, oh, now I left satsang, and then the feeling is different and so on. Don't give too much energy to those type of thoughts. What doesn't matter if things are different, you are the same. This is important. If you pay attention to differences, you keep seeing differences. But you pay attention to yourself and you see from constancy, something is constant here. So we don't have to keep on, we've been spending a lot of time looking at the objects. Now we must turn to the subject. Can you look at the subject? So even for the objects, you look out. For the subject, the attention turns in. What is seen, you see? Can the seer be seen? Just don't get mental about it. Just allow those words to guide something, your attention. Experience what is there, you see? Don't go scratching too hard, just be present.
Salutations to thee, my Lord, Satguru, to the divine grace embodied, to that omnipresence beyond compare, to that Shiva self, Satguru. I offer these salutations to that Satguru, who is the core of myself.
eternal purity. Oh Mooji, you save our lives with the Christ's heart, Krishna's love, Shiva's wisdom. Satguruji, you save our lives with the Christ's heart, Krishna's love, Shiva's wisdom. Salutations to thee, my Lord, Satguru, to that divine grace embodied, to the Supreme Lord Shiva, the pure awareness in the sky of consciousness in the heart. Mooji, you save our lives with the Christ's heart, Krishna's love, Shiva's wisdom. Satguruji, you save our lives with the Christ's heart, Krishna's love, Shiva's wisdom. I offer these salutations to that Satguru who is the core of myself, the embodiment of undisturbed peace without attributes, eternal purity. Oh Mooji, you save our lives with the Christ's heart, Krishna's love, Shiva's wisdom. Satguruji, you save our lives with the Christ's heart, Krishna's love, Shiva's wisdom. With the Christ's heart, Krishna's love, Shiva's wisdom. Salutations to thee, my Lord, Satguru, to that divine grace embodied.
Whatever comes and goes, don't give too much attention to that. Pay attention to that which does not come and go, in whose light, in whose space comings and goings are perceived, no? But itself remains unaffected, unchanged. You don't have to go out looking for that. Start with yourself. Find that within, which does not fluctuate. It is there. When we say I, it refers to that. It seems to have layers. The layer of the body, which we know is a layer of change. It is time. It has birth. It has life. It has death. And the mind, which is so unstable, like the wind that comes and goes, unreliable. unsteady. But yet these are witnessed from another place, an inner place, which does not come and go. And because it doesn't come and go, what comes and goes can be seen from there. Know that place to be yourself. It doesn't grow old. It is not merely a feeling. It's not a feeling. It's not an object. It has no age. Therefore, we say it is timeless. Sometimes we spoke about the eternal. It means unending time. But now we speak of the timeless, beyond time. What is beyond time is here. Everything else is here and gone. Don't pay attention to the things that come and go. Don't give such high value to that. Value the self, which is the witness of all these, yet it is immutable, unconcerned, untouched. And yet without it, the things that come and go could not be. Pay attention to that. Honor that. Love that. This is true self-respect. True life. The one who does this forgets themselves personally. Such a one is remembered by all. Rare. You see. Don't be fooled by the mind into feeling that when you turn away from the person, you lose everything. You lose nothing but delusion. But don't just think about it. Take the risk of real seeing. Don't speculate, don't wait, don't plan. The self is here before your first thought, your first movement can happen. No movement can touch it. Nothing can make it better or improve it. It has no size, has no design, no shape. It's neither male nor female. Everlastingly perfect. Beyond names and forms. Let what come and go, what change, leave it to change. That is its nature. But your nature is unchanging. To know this is freedom. To not know this gives a sense of bondage, of limitation, of fear, like that. Come into your golden age. Time free from ignorance, arrogance. Why wait? Why project when the Supreme Lord of the Universe is here inside your heart? We say that God is closer than intimacy, our highest self. Then why do you refer to God as you and not I? When I is before you. Okay. Om Vishwa. we will take a little break, and for those of you who would like to come back, and we have a little opportunity to read some of the letters that people write, and it's a very beautiful part of Satsang also, and I hope to see you back. If not, then happy travels. Okay? Okay, thank you.